What government stands for is simple. It's for religious community to be able to exercise their belief based on what's best for them. Because for two reasons. First is that this house of worship is very important for them, but also second, they are the only one that knows what's best for them, and we don't think government can be able to accommodate that needs. That is what we stand for as government team. But before moving on, I have two independent rebuttals that I would like to address in my speech. First, leader of opposition said that government already give you freedom to exercise your religious by allowing you to preach anywhere you like, and we say that that is enough. Isn't it? That is wrong. I think that exactly because government give you the ability to preach, to have a freedom of preaching, I think that house of worship is one of the prerequisite in order for your preaching to be validated. Because I think that in order for you to preach, it has to be in somewhere holy, or it has to be something somewhere that is related to your religion. I think exactly because government give you the ability to preach and exercise your religion, government also have to give you the ability for a place where you can do that. We don't think home is enough. That's what Firman told you. We don't think praying in home is enough, or in other places that is not house of worship. So that's why it is very important to have that place. But second rebuttal is that they said the authorization is one of the way for government to protect your need. For example, the rule on how loud masjid speaker should be. So I think this is exactly one of the way for government to limit the ability of their people to exercise their religion. And said this is very wrong. I think that at this point, government should be able to give their people the space where they can be able to exercise their religion without any limitations. So exactly authorization is not in line with their idea that government gives you freedom to have religions, when government at the end of the day give you limitation when it because of their policy. So this is very bad. So in my speech, I'm going to extend to you two things. First, I'm going to extend on how government authorize and how this is bad. But second, I'm going to explain about interreligious relation and why it is very important and why it does not exist in their side. First is on how government authorize. When we talk about the country that we're talking about in this motion, is most likely a heterogeneous society with variety of religions that exist there. But no matter how heterogeneous a society or a country is, we said that there will always be a dominant religions that still exist there. We're talking about Muslim in Indonesia, Christianity in USA. We said that exactly authorization of house of worship will only in favor to those who is dominant, who is in dominant religions, under two reasons. First is the ruling government is most likely coming from the dominant religion, because the dominant religious people become the population of the basis of voters itself, especially when we're talking about religion, where they told you to vote for those who sharing the same belief as you. So exactly like a Muslim, Indonesia would probably most likely have Muslim government in it. So how this is bad, because this is exactly Firman argument is really important about why government unable to understand other religion, because they themselves are not coming from that religions that you need to accommodate. That is why most likely the rules, the authorization that exists in Indonesia government are only in favor to Islam, for example, not to other religion, because the government itself are not coming from these other religions that need to be accommodated. But also second, this is because exactly the basis of voters mostly coming from Muslim, they will be most likely only listening to or only creating policy that able to accommodate their voters, which is the Muslim itself. So this is bad. In our side, it is much better, because then society able to make this decision that is best for them. They will be able to understanding, because they are the one that practicing the religion. They are the one that knows the best for what is best for the religion. It is better. But also the harm that is much worse in their side of the house is not just about how it is only favor the dominant, but also how this is the way for government to amplify the dominance of this religion. For example, the destruction of church in Jatinegara in Jakarta, because it is illegal and not having IMB. But we know for a fact there is also other mosques that is illegal and don't have IMB, but only church that are being destructed in Jatinegara. It shows to you how government itself are only in favor for certain religion, and how they are scared, for example, of doing the same thing to its dominant. Because this is the way for government to be able to amplify the dominance that is exists itself. We said that is why integration will be very, very hard to be exist in their side. thus I have proven to you that government itself are unable to accommodate a much more variety of discussion, especially when it comes to heterogeneous society where it is very, very important. But moving to my second substantive about interreligious relationship and why it is very important and why it will be better in our side. We said that in their side of the house, where having many house of worship would be most likely goes to those who is having who is dominant in the society, will create a sense of superiority towards this government, towards this dominant religion. How? I would like to use Firman's argument about how important these places are. I think exactly because this place is important towards this religion, these dominant religious people will see that because I have more holy places, it validates more towards my belief. It means that my belief is the truest because I have more holy places in compared to you. So this is exactly like in their side where these dominant religions having more ability to create more mosques, for example, they will have more the ability to validate their own belief and create sense of inferiority to those who is not sharing the same belief. These people who is a minority in religion will feel that they is less important and less holy because they have less house of worship in compared to those who is dominant. So that this is very bad. But this is very bad because in our side of the house, where these people have the ability to create as many as they like, for example, including what's best for them, I think it is better because at least they will be, at least they will be able to counter the ability, or at least because they have the ability to have more, they will not feel inferior anymore. But second is about integration. I think that why dominance still exists in this country is because exactly they feel that government policy are backing their religion. I think exactly because Muslim, for example, knows that government religions are most likely allowing Muslims to create mosques. They will not trying to go reach out to their Christian neighbor asking about whether or not I should build mosque or not, because they already know that a government policy already backing me up. So I think in our side of the house, where government is absent, where a government don't have this authorization, I think that Muslim people will be most likely to reach out to their Christian neighbor, to their Hindu neighbor, and ask whether or not it is allowed for me to create a mosque there. I think because exactly government there to give authorization, there's most likely don't feel that they don't need validation coming from other religion because I already have government policy that supports me. In our side of the house, where this policy is absent, they will be able to reach out and asking the favor of other religion, so that this is better and will never exist in our side. But also let's cater the dominant religion, how this policy are still harming this dominant religion. Because we need to understand that even in one religion, there's a lot of diversity of style of preaching, diversity of beliefs, so that this house of worship will be able to cater that. For example, government only understand like one generalization, like only Islam, only Christian. They don't know that they're probably like Christian, Toraja style of preaching, there probably other Protestant style of preaching. Exactly by having more house of worship, including those with dominant belief, I think that people in the society will be able to find what kind of preaching that is best for them, what kind of style of religious that is best for them. Because exactly when authorization exists, when only in favoring on several identity, for example, or several style of preaching, it will be very limited for people to be able to find what is best for them and what is best for their religious life. And I say that this is very important for all those who are about to propose.